Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with Pastel Paradise by Solver Tom. Solver Tom does have his own YouTube channel, so you should definitely check that out. But yeah, we've got normal 6x6 Sudoku rules, and along each pastel, so the color doesn't matter, it's just for flair, but every single one of these lines has the same rule, which is the region subline rule. So what you do is you divide up the line. Let's color this one. So let's color each segment of this line within each box a different color. So these are in the same box, these are in the same box, this is alone in its box. So the orange cells sum to the same as the blue cells, and that sum is also this singular green cell. So within every box or region, whatever you want to call it, the sum is the same on a line. Now between different lines the sum may be different, but on the same line the sums are always the same. All right, so that is how this works. There's a link in the description if you want to give it a try yourself. Highly recommend you do. And I'm going to get started right now. All right. So we know the sum of this green line because we know that a column sums to 21 because 1 through 6 sums to 21. So 21 over 3 is going to be 7. So each of these adds to 7. So we're going to have a 1, 6, a 2, 5, and a 3, 4, but we don't know which is which. How about these lines? So these sum to almost 21, but what we do know is that they sum to a multiple of 3 because it's this plus that. And so it's the same number added to itself 3 times. That is 3 times the number. So this is a multiple of 3. Now 21 is also a multiple of 3. So that means that this cell here must be a multiple of 3 in order to preserve the multiple of 3-ness. So it's only 3 or 6. Because, like, imagine if it was a 1. That would mean that the sum of this would be 20, and we can't divide 20 by 3. But if it's a 3, then the sum of this is 21 minus 3, which is 18, and we can divide 18 by 3. That would make it a 6. So this is only 3 or 6, which means this, we know the sum is going to be either 5 or 6, because it's either going to be a 3 here, making this sum to 18, divided by 3 is 6, or it's going to be a 6 here, making this sum to 15, divided by 3 is a 5. We can do the exact same thing, not on this one, on this one. So this is 3, 6, and this is 5, 6. And so we actually know that 6 is always in one of those two, in both cases. Now, it's going to be very hard for this to be a 6, because what's this value going to be? It's going to be less than 6, and this is added with 2 other digits, right? So this is clearly the 3. That makes this the 6. It's the exact same thing here. This cannot be a 6, so that's a 3, and that's a 6. So we know these sum to 6, these sum to 6. That makes sense. We're missing the 3, which is the only digit that doesn't involve a 6 sum. This is going to be at least 5. This is 5 or 6. Oh no, this is 6, and this is 1, 2. Never mind. I was doing that math a little bit wrong. And we have the same thing here. This is 1, 2, and that adds to 6. It's the only way that's going to work. So we know these add to 7. So we're either going to do 1, 6, which we can't do, or 2, 5. So that's placed. This is the last digit in the box. So these need to be a 4 and 5, and these need to be 1, 2, and 3, which might come in handy. So these two need to add to 6. So either 1, 5 or 2, 4. This can't be a 3 because it would add to at least 7. So that puts the 3 here. So this adds to at least 5 because the minimum is 1, 4. So this is 5 or 6 only. We know one of these is a 6. This can't be a 6 for the same reason. What would we put here? So this is 6. So these two add to 6. 1, 5 or 2, 4 makes sense. Actually, we could have known that from summing the box or any other way, but we did it in a way. Right, these 6s look in, making a 6 on here. So we know this is the 1, 6, and we know the order. And so then this is the 3, 4, and we know the order. So we should know this is a 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. And then this is the 2, 4, but we don't know the order. So now this pair is 3 or 5. So that does give us this digit, but that's more interesting for the sum. So the question whether this can be 3 with, so if it's 3, this is 1, 2. If it's 5, it could be 1, 4 or 2, 3. Oh, well, I see a problem already with 1, 2, which is that we have 3 1, 2s in this column. So this does add to 5. So this is from 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not 3, so that's not 2. This is a 1, 2 pair though, so that's not a 1. Which means that's not a 4. So we have a 1, 2 pair here, so the remaining digits are 4, 5. Not resolved. I'd looked. That's another 4, 5, just for the... There we go, that's a 4, 5 pair, so that's 3 and 2. That's 4 and 2, that's 1 and 2, that's 1 and 2. 1 plus 5 is 6, 2 plus 4 is 6. And finally we need 1 plus 5, and we're done. Nice. Well, thanks, Tom. Enjoyed the puzzle. I think there was some neat logic there, and then once you figured out logic, you could apply it in a few different places, which I always enjoy. So thanks so much, Tom. Really liked it. And check out Tom's channel if you haven't. And of course, if you enjoyed this content, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.